Hey guys, so today we continue on the slow and steady green train, doing exactly what I wanted to do. I reduced my position size, got a little bit of the stress out of the way, get the ball rolling again after a shaky April, and just stick to the strategy as clean and simple as possible. So today was really nice. We kind of just summed all that up. It wasn't the biggest winner day. We didn't have any blow away trades. We actually had kind of some sketchy movements in the markets. I think Thursday and Friday, we were really spoiled because we had some huge volume out of the gates, and we had some big gap and go runners that I think a lot of people were looking for today, and we just didn't really get it. Actually, our lead gapper, APDN, basically did all the trading pre-market, and then the rest of the day, I think it was selling off about 30% from pre-market highs. It's just constantly pulling back. We had some great dip buys on it, but at no point can you really get away with more than like 5% if you're trying to, play it safe. So I'm going to be reviewing basically the three trades we made on APDN and review some of the other lead gappers that were popping up as well. At the end of the day though, you got to trade exactly what's in front of you. You got to trade the technicals in front of you. You got to trade the volume that's in front of you, and not think, just because yesterday we had a blowaway day, or I guess you could say Friday we had a blowaway day, it's going to be the same today. Sometimes you get those nice, momentum building days. We have like 2 or 3 days kind of building up to that, which we kind of did have. But you just want to watch out. When that momentum's gone and you're still trading very aggressively, you can get stuck on the wrong side of trades very quickly. So I think today's going to be a really good recap. There was, however, one weird thing that happened, and with TOS, our trades were not showing up on the screen. You saw the trades when we entered and when we exited, but when we switched to another stock, they disappeared and they didn't reappear. So in the recap video, you're not going to see my trades, but I'm going to show you where the entries and exits were based on the monitor tab, so you guys can see the time and sales there as well. So it's not really a big deal, just kind of a weird little glitch that we had today, or TOS had today. All right guys, let's get to the charts now. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy this content, and if you're totally new here, consider subscribing. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to trade the market open. It's good fun, and the community is growing every day. The more the merrier, so definitely consider checking it out. We would love to see you there. Let's check out the lead gappers now. All right. Welcome to the recap, guys. I can't help but think, but any second there's gonna be a huge loud noise. The window's open right now, and sometimes it's just like, it's like an airplane's flying above or something like that. Whatever. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Let's dive into the lead gapper on the day, because that was APDN out of the gates. This one was really the one to be watching. 240 million in dollar volume. So this one had a lot of attention. Unfortunately, that was almost all pre-market. Well, okay, that's not true. It wasn't almost all pre-market. We did have some nice open volume here, but you usually don't even notice the pre-market volume once the market open volume kind of comes in there. So, or the normal kind of hours volume. So like right here, it's quite a lot. I mean, on average, we're having candles over, 45,000. So this is huge. APDN pre-market was just absolutely insane. Ripped all the way from about 6.5 to $13. So 100% gap up, which 100% isn't, super unusual. But on a heavier price stock, sometimes it is. So kind of a big move on this one. It never really had a moment of consolidation. It never had a really big pullback. We had a little bit of consolidation here, but pre-market, I was looking for these pullbacks to about 10 in the teens. And this rally, I was like, okay, we're probably going to see a pullback or something anytime soon. This is usually something that you will see once the market opens. So this will be, let's say, pre-market right here, and then the market opens, and then we have a nice little, we have a gap, and then we have a go after the market opens. But this thing, APDN, had so much time to kind of pull back and consolidate. It really needed to do that. It had a nice catalyst right here. Coronavirus vaccine test on animals was positive. So really good catalyst. And we've seen a lot of stocks with the coronavirus news, vaccine kind of FDA approvals or any sort of vaccine related news do really well in the last, I think, 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, I kind of out of the gates, I had a feeling that APDN was going to be a hot one. Not to mention, check out the shares here, 3.5 million, and the float was about 2.5 million or something like that. So this one, perfectly, a little bit high in the price range, but still kind of, Ideally, I'm looking for between $2 and $7, and since it did come from sub $7 yesterday, kind of made me a little bit more comfortable trading outside the range. Market cap 36 million, shares outstanding exactly what we want, south of 50 million, and ideally south of 10 million. So this thing really fit, and it has a catalyst, and it's trading above VWAP pre-market. So it really is fitting everything. Just the fact that it's a little bit overextended pre-market. That was the one thing I didn't really like about it. We had several trades on this one, and I don't know why they're not showing up. I've already restarted TOS several times, actually only once, but let me see if I just like uncheck these things a few more times. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll pop up. I don't know why they're popping up, but I'll just talk about the trades here. We could go to the monitor tab and kind of see what happened. The first trade was at let me see if I'm reading this right, actually, first of all. Yeah, the first trade was at 1069 and we sold at 1123. This was a fairly quick trade. It was actually one of the kind of better trades on the day. So let's see. It was on this candle. We were pulling back a second time. I originally was waiting for a dip into the 50s. But we didn't really get that. We kind of were slowing down here in the 60s, and I was like, I think, since this is the lead gapper, there's a lot of traders looking at this. There's probably a tremendous amount of people trying to dip buy right now. So I jumped on this one fairly quickly. And what did I say? I sold somewhere in the 20s. So right here, this was a pretty quick and nice trade. The reason I sold, I think it was at 23, was because we had a little bit of a, the open of a candle here, and I didn't think that it was just time for us to have that reversal. We had VWAP here, we had a lot of resistance in this area, former support, so I didn't really see us breaking VWAP in this area just yet. So I decided to take profits as we were approaching the open of this candle. So this was a pretty nice little first trade. Not too bad at all. It was about 5%. We just had, again, smaller position size. I've been using smaller position size the last few days to kind of get me back in the groove a little bit, because when I use smaller position size, I don't stress so much about each individual trade. Next trade, 1023 to 1041. This one, we could have done a lot better on. Where was this pullback I think we had here? Yeah, it was, hold on. Now I'm thinking about a different trade. 1023. Let's just find the time. So 1023 at 15. That's 10 o'clock. No, that's 9 o'clock still. That's 9:44:14. 9:44:14. Okay. Yeah. So I actually had a limit order on this one, and I was looking at a different stock at the time. I remember now, and we had a quick flash pullback here at a limit order at 23, and then we had a quick little bounce here. And I was waiting for this one to actually move a little bit higher. But again, we had some closes here. We had the close of a body here, and I felt like we were still in a kind of a downtrend because this was such an aggressive sell-off. And I was really waiting for a quick move. I was waiting for this candle to really bust higher, and then I would have took profits. But when, we failed to break past 10.5 several times, I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. And that's when I closed at 1040, I think it was again, 1041. So probably left a little bit of profit on the table, but I was still able to get away with roughly 20 cents. And I always say, 20 to 40 cents is really nice to take profits. If you get more than that, great. But if it's not moving quickly, I'm not going to wait for more than that, especially because we're on the backside of a move. So if I'm trading, breakouts, and if I'm trading the gap and go momentum in the morning, and I'm looking for these things, sometimes, you'll get more profit out of these. 7% move right here. This move right here was huge, 15%. Now, so this is the morning run up. And then this is the backside of the move. And when you trade dips on the backside of the move, I always want to take profits very, very quickly, especially after such a strong run up here. Who knows how far this thing would have pulled back. And well, it looks like we found a bit of a bottom in the 9.5 area, having a nice little rounded bottom here. This actually could be a really good time to get back aggressive on this one. This is the first time we're trending back above a 15-minute EMA. You can see here, we had a nice little move higher. This was probably it at 11 o'clock. So right here, might move higher, 3% move. Could have bought maybe the first 1 minute pullback here, 10. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it. APDN to me is a little bit dead. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the day, but I just don't like how aggressively it's been selling off. But if it holds this area, it could curl around and it could end strong. APDN had a really nice strong close on this candle and this candle as well. So we've been seeing some nice moves, but we've also seen a lot of failed breakouts. Start high, pull a little higher, and then just crash the rest of the day, just like this one. Starts high, pulls a little higher, and then crashes. And that could be the same situation for today. It might crash all the way back to the 750, maybe even 650, where there's some big support. So again, I'm not really, looking to roll the dice. I like to take these calculated trades, calculated risk reward, and then kind of move on. That's why I was done trading by 10 o'clock. My last trade was right somewhere here. I think it was like an entry at 10.18 or something like that. 10.17, and I sold this one for a small loss. Let's talk about this one. So right here, this was looking good. We tried to break $10, but there wasn't a lot of volume, and we instantly bounced right back up. This was an 8% move. What I was waiting for was a retest in this area, and then break past the EMA, and then a continuation. This was a 7% move actually from the bottom. So I had a nice little entry here. I had a limit order at 10.17. We were moving higher a little bit, and then we pulled back again. And on this candle where we pulled back to $10, I was like, I'm not sticking around, because on the 5-minute chart, this was a beginning of a bear flag, and I didn't want it to break 10 and then all of a sudden be down like 5-10% in 1 minute. So I was like, I'm out of here. Unfortunately, I took that small loss, and this thing actually ends up in like 10 minutes later being up 7%. And I would have 100% took profits before VWAP. I probably would have took profits at like the break of 10.5. So I probably would, 10.55, 10.6, I probably would have took profits, which would have been too soon. But again, I'm not trying to stick around too long. So that could have been the best trade of the day, actually. So kind of unfortunate that we took a small loss. We were right. We were somehow a little bit, I don't know, you could argue too early, because if I waited a little bit longer, maybe till we had this move higher and then this pullback, I would have not gotten shaken out. So sometimes you're right, but your timing's off and you still take a loss. I think that's kind of annoying sometimes. And again, I apologize that my trades aren't showing up here, but I have no idea why they're not. CODX. This one had a lot of dollar volume as well, but check out the market cap. This is huge market cap, 400 million. So typically we don't trade something over 500 million. And even when there's a stock over 100 million, I'm already like kind of like, ugh, do we have to be, this is not the small caps that I'm looking for. But big resistance above, triple top here in this area. I'm kind of on the backside of the move. I'm a little bit nervous on this one, but let's say we have a break past $16. I would probably look back into trading this one. So I'm going to put a little alert here. Obviously not today, but maybe sometime in the future. MVIS, I almost got a trade on this one at this pullback here. We had pre-market, we had a dip here. Actually, right at the market open, we had a dip here, and we ran up. And I was looking for, this was a 30% move, and I was looking for a pullback to this area. I had a limit order here, and it would have been a perfect execution. I went ahead and removed this limit order actually to trade APDN, because I only have 3 trades per day. What was the news on MVIS? Oh, they had good quarterly earnings, so there was no specific catalyst today. Not to mention NVIS is sub-dollar. I typically don't like trading sub-dollar, so I wasn't too hot about that one, and that was a big reason I actually went ahead and removed my limit order. This was a pretty nice run up here, 18% move. So when this ascending channel bear flag did not pull back that strong and we started making moves higher, this would have been somewhere in this area. If you noticed it, would have been a good time to get aggressive. You had to be quick here because basically the bearish flag did not last that long. It didn't hold true. So buying as we break higher here from the former resistance at 0.82 would have been a good time to get long this one. I don't know if I would have held past the VWAP breakout, but pretty sweet move with MVIS. We had kind of an interesting little spectrum of stuff moving today. Our RVP, during the stream today, I was saying, 3.6, 3.5 were going to be really interesting breakout zones, because this is where, or pullback zones, this is where we had that nice run up here, 30% run up, 37% run up, and then we had a quick pullback, 7% pullback back to 3.65. And guess what? We pull all the way back to 3.65, and then we have a nice little bounce off this area, 6%. Not really that great, but kind of interesting. Obviously, the big move would have been buying this 1 minute pullback and then selling into the highs. That's way more interesting. 20%, quick moves like that. So much more interesting. NAIX, we're talking about this one for a little bit, buying a bounce off of $2. It only ran up about 5% from there. So I don't know, tough one to trade. And this is why I take profits so quickly. I mean, you just don't know if it's going to bounce or if it's just going to keep pulling back. ANIX doesn't have a lot of dollar volume, so it's not really that interesting. Kind of a cool day to trade. A little bit slower. I think I knew Friday. I was even saying this Friday, especially in the recap video. Like this Thursday and Friday were two really aggressive days in the market in the small cap world. And I knew that this was going to spoil a lot of people. And I think APDN probably got a lot of people on the wrong side of the trade because we were all a little bit spoiled after having such a phenomenal Thursday and Friday. Just so much volume and activity. And maybe that's why there was so much pre-market aggression, actually. Who knows? Maybe APDN will have a bit of a reversal here. I think if it breaks back above 10.5, this thing could see some new highs. But again, like I said in the beginning, it's a bit of, to me, it's after 11 o'clock. I'm not going to be trading. The reason I like trading, and I say this over and over again, is because it doesn't take a lot of work. So basically, 9:15, we start the live stream. I start a little bit earlier because I get the watch list ready and then I post the YouTube video and whatnot. But then, by 10:30, I'm basically done trading. And obviously then I do the recap video and other things. But the actual trading isn't more than, sometimes we're done in 30 minutes, sometimes even earlier, but typically, an hour and a half. And then you have the rest of the day technically to do what you want. For me, it's, run YouTube. In the mornings, I build TradeJournal. I also work on my company Vice offers. So I have so much time in the day, even though trading is actually one of my main income sources. So it's great. I like that. And I don't want to be a slave to the markets. I don't want to be staring at my screen all day. I want to be trading those, momentum gap and go stocks. And then just moving on, just wrapping up from there. So talking about wrapping up, I'm going to wrap up right now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's always good fun trading with everyone. If you're new here, don't forget we trade the market open every morning at 9:15 a.m. We go live. So I would love to see you there. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the content, hit that like button too, because you'll make my day. And you'll also make the content easier to find for future traders. So all right, guys, that's everything for today. Have a great rest of your Monday and a great start to the week. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow. So till then, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao, guys.